You're a seller. You're watching this video and you're thinking, should I sell now or should I wait? Will the market be better in a few months or next year than what it is now? Well, let's answer that question. Well, let's start with another question. Why is there almost nothing for sale right now? There's a few reasons. Number one, people are waiting for summertime. Now that kind of predates the internet. Everyone thought spring and then summer were the best times to sell. That's a little outdated now, but because a lot of our sellers are older, they may be waiting for summer just out of tradition. Some of my sellers, and I've heard this directly, were going to sell this year and have decided, with all the COVID stuff going on, maybe living away from a major city is a bit better these days than living in a major city. That's been a big turnaround in the last year or so. I never thought I'd hear that, but yeah, up here on the Sunshine Coast, we're about an hour and a quarter away from Brisbane, so maybe this is the right distance to be away from that high density population if something else like another pandemic should come our way, and my best guess is one day that will probably happen again. Some of my clients, in fact I'd say, gosh, probably a fairly big percentage, are waiting until New South Wales and Victoria open up their borders and waiting for all those people that had wanted to buy, that are not prepared to buy sight unseen, come up to Queensland to find a property and be able to purchase it. So there's a fairly big percentage of those people waiting. Yes, Victorians and New South Welshmen are buying sight unseen, but it is a tiny, like 1% of the people are actually doing that. Not as big a percentage as what I've heard. Some of my sellers are going, oh my God, 2020 was in the tank for lots of reasons. I'm going to wipe it off and I'm going to sell in 2021. 2021 has to be better. Some of my sellers are hedging their bets. They're hoping that when Victoria and New South Wales open up, those people will flood up to the Sunshine Coast and buy property. So the $1 million question, literally, if you're a seller, should you sell now or should you wait? So what we have now is a low inventory market. Not many properties for sale and a lot of buyers looking. Next year, if the sellers are hedging their bets and they're correct, we'll have a lot more buyers in the marketplace. The problem is we'll also have a lot more sellers. So proportionally, your chance of selling may actually be slightly less next year, even though there's more buyers, because there's more properties for sale. So you can see I'm leaning towards, if you can sell, sell now. Now there's a few caveats there. If you have a lease in place, maybe the lease doesn't end until mid next year, so now would not be the right time to sell. But one of the advantages now, for lack of a better word, there's a lot of what I call buyer fear. Buyers are afraid of missing out. And when buyers are afraid of missing out, the market values here, they're okay to pay this much more for the property. So as a seller, you can depend on that to drive the prices up a certain percentage. That will go away as more properties come on the market towards the end of the year and possibly into next year. Yeah, and all this is based on you as a seller and even me as an agent predicting the market. In my 34 years, in all my predictions, I've been right about half of the time and I've been wrong about half of the time. See, the truth is, if you really think you can predict the market better than I can, then you probably should have bought real estate 10 years ago in Sydney or Melbourne. Sydney's gone up 105%, Melbourne has gone up approximately 95%. So the Sunshine Coast, early 2000s, over the course of a year or two, it doubled in price. So if you really think you can predict the market, if I wore a hat, it's now off to you, but the truth is, it's all guesswork at the end of the day. So the bottom line is that if you want to sell and you have to sell and you can't wait, then I would say sell now. If you can wait, that's not necessarily bad, but bear in mind that the market may not be as good as what you think it is next year. It is a gamble to wait. And that's it. So my advice for the next 30 days for you is free. Actually, my advice is free all the time. So if you have a question on buying, selling, or leasing your property, give me a call. We can have a chat over the phone. Promise not to charge you anything. Have a great week.